Okay, welcome to the first day of Scorpio season, everybody's favorite time of the year. It is officially Scorpio season, so the sun has moved into Scorpio today. It's at 0 degrees, the sun, so no more Libra season. We're done with Libra season, although we do still have Mars in Libra, so we're still feeling the Libra energy to a certain degree, but we do have more planets in Scorpio now. So we have the sun, we have Mercury, and we have Venus in Scorpio, and then Mars is going to join those planets later. But I thought I'd talk a little bit about Libra season and the Libra energy, and then the transition into Scorpio season and what the Scorpio energy represents. So very exciting. Scorpio is my favorite. I have a lot of Scorpio energy, so I love to talk about this and to help people take the high road of Scorpio, because the low road of Scorpio is very low. So, all right, Libra season, what we've been going through, Libra is the sign of partnership, of relationship, of balance. I feel like we've been, moving through a lot of relationship stuff. If it's not, a relationship with a partner, with an intimate partner, then maybe it's your relationship with yourself, maybe it's your relationships at work, whatever types of relationships have been coming up for you during Libra season. I feel like we've all been moving through a lot in that area, like getting clear on how it is we want to do relationship, like renegotiating like our values or what it is that we need, our non-negotiables. There's just been a lot of like trying to find a new balance. And after Libra season, obviously, is Scorpio season, and Scorpio is the sign that, so as each sign kind of builds upon, the previous sign, Libra is about coming together with another, about finding balance. It's the first sign on the upper part of the wheel, of the zodiac wheel. So after Libra is Scorpio, which represents deep soul merging. So after Libra is partnership, coming together with another, then Scorpio is like going even deeper into that commitment, that relationship with another. It's like soul merging, connecting with another, being on the deepest level possible. And that's pretty much what Scorpio represents, right? Scorpio wants to go deep. They want to talk about the stuff that is uncomfortable, talk about the taboo things. They don't want to do like the surface level chit chat. They want to go deep and get to what's beneath the surface. Generally, people with strong Scorpio energy are always reading between the lines. They're always trying to figure out what it is that you're meaning from what you're saying, like just going deeper into what is being said. Scorpio is the sign that represents transformation. Of all the zodiac signs, Scorpio represents transformation, transmutation. So by going deep within ourselves, like deep into our psyche, into our unconscious thoughts and patterns and behaviors, the cycles, the ways that we self-sabotage or self-destruct, it's going deep, into ourselves, bringing that stuff up to the surface, looking at it, understanding it, having a conversation with it, and ultimately transmuting it, taking the darkness, the heaviness, the stuff that we're maybe ashamed of or embarrassed of or don't want to talk about, don't want to bring it to the light. The high expression of the Scorpio energy is doing that work, is going into the depths of ourselves, bringing it up to the surface, working with it, better understanding it, and transmuting it, turning it into something that is useful, something that we can empower ourselves with, that we can heal ourselves with by looking at this stuff. And then we can also, encourage others to do their healing work. We can hold space for other people because we've gone to the depths of ourselves and sat with what's uncomfortable. So Scorpio, like I was saying, is the sign after Libra, so it's the deep soul merging. And so I feel like throughout Libra season, it's been a lot of a back and forth. Libra sees all sides to everything. They're constantly trying to weigh all the options and to find balance and to make it work for everybody, to keep it looking nice and pretty and harmonious. And they're notorious for not wanting conflict, it can be hard for them to say no, because then that can throw off the balance. They want peace and harmony. So now Scorpio season is a bit more direct and cutthroat and precise. So we have the Sun, we have Venus and Mercury in the Scorpio energy, but we still have Mars in Libra. So Mars is the planet of action. Mars is how we go about moving forward. It's like the vehicle we ride through life with, as Rick Levine says. And with Mars being in Libra, we're still trying to find the balance. You know, we have this new moon coming up in Scorpio. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But Mars is kind of in conflict at this time, and at the time of the new moon. It's like we're wanting to move forward in relationship or wanting to move forward in our lives, keeping the balance and the peace and the harmony, but something needs to be shaken up, and that's what's going to be happening at the time of this new moon. So at the new moon, we have the Sun and the Moon in Scorpio at 4 degrees, and it's opposing Uranus exactly, like almost exact down to the minute and the second. They're all at 4 degrees. So it's like something within us needs to be shaken up. We need to break free from something that's been holding us back. The Sun opposing Uranus, this happens once a year. So this is the new moon that's coming on October 27th. This aspect happens once a year, and it happened last year in October. So it might be interesting to look back to that time and to see what was going on for you at that time in October of last year when the Sun opposed Uranus. Maybe something at that time you needed to break free from, because Uranus is the great awakener. So Uranus is here to shake up the stuck energy. Uranus is very unpredictable. It can cause like chaos and disruptions and sudden changes and breakthroughs. It's a electrical energy. So it's really hard to predict what can happen with Uranus, but the point of it is the medicine from Uranus. It's like the Christ consciousness. So it wants us to evolve. I mean, all of this energy is here supporting us, you know, encouraging our growth and our evolution. So Uranus comes in and shakes up something that's stuck in our lives, stuck energy, maybe within us. Maybe it's, you know, destructive thoughts or just cycles that we've been stuck in within ourselves, like within our psyche. I would imagine it has something to do with like deeply rooted patterns within our being, because that's what the Scorpio energy rules. So, but it could also be, you know, something external at the time of this new moon on the 27th, something external coming in and forcing us to break free from something in our lives. Again, it could be, you know, it's going to look different for everybody. It could be something just within you, or it could be an external situation coming in and just causing some type of disruption in the name of your growth and your evolution. It comes in and it helps you break free from what you've been struggling to let go of, what you've been struggling to break free from. So I feel like this year we've been doing a lot of deep internal work, right? We have aspects happening this year that we've never experienced before in our lives. The Saturn-Pluto conjunction that's happening in January of 2020, which is kind of the energy that we've just been building up to all year. We've also had the South Node conjunct Saturn and Pluto, so there's been a lot of deep soul work. This isn't an aspect that happens very often, the South Node conjunct Saturn and Pluto. The South Node represents our past, our individual past, and the collective past. So we've been doing a lot of, you know, reworking, re-examining how we show up in the world based on how we've been taught to show up, based on stuff from maybe our family, from society, past life stuff that we've carried forward with us and we're still holding on to today. So, for example, if in a past life you were poor, or maybe you starved to death in a past life and you're still holding on to that energy a little bit, like there's that imprint on your soul, you could just unconsciously, we repeat these patterns until we're made conscious of them and then can clear them. So so maybe there's been some scarcity mindset around what it is you can do, how you can show up in the world. The Scorpio-Taurus axis, this is where the new moon's happening, right? So it's the Scorpio energy, and then Taurus is directly opposing it. We've got the Sun and the Moon in Scorpio, and Uranus in Taurus. So these two signs represents money. So maybe our ideas around money, around what it is that we can do in life. Maybe we have a scarcity mindset around money, around our ability to make money. Taurus rules our gifts, our spiritual gifts. Scorpio represents our power, our personal power. So maybe there's been some unhealthy like scarcity mindset around our power, around sharing our gifts, around how we show up in the world. Maybe it goes all the way back into, you know, multiple past lives. Maybe it's earlier in this lifetime. I'm so excited. I hope you can follow all of this. Fuck. I gotta stay with my train of thought here. Okay, so yeah, maybe we are shaking up stuff around the scarcity mindset that we experienced when we were younger. So maybe it has to do with how we were brought up, you know, what we saw from our family, all of these things that just leave an imprint on us. And I think at the time of this new moon that's coming, and Scorpio season in general, is a time to transform. Scorpio is the sign that represents transformation. So yeah, at the time of this new moon, with Uranus being exactly opposite the new moon, the sun and the moon, it's forcing us, whether we like it or not, to break free from something in our lives that's been holding us back. And you're going to want to look to see what house this is happening in for you to get, you know, a more clear picture on what area of your life it's going to be affecting. So for example, if Scorpio falls in your 7th house, 4 degrees of Scorpio is taking up the 7th house in your chart, then it's going to have to do with relationships. Maybe you're breaking free from a relationship that's been unhealthy. Maybe it's just your outlook about relationships. Maybe it's like a transformation in your relationship. Scorpio, again, transformation, going deep and looking at the hidden unconscious things that have been, you know, buried beneath the surface, bringing that up and then looking at it. Maybe it's examining it with your partner so that greater levels of healing can come. You guys can connect on an even deeper level. As the Scorpio energy, again, it represents merging with another, like connecting, soul merging, connecting on the deepest level possible. So yeah, I'm excited. I think that this new moon, I'm always excited about the new moons and the full moons, but this new moon is really powerful because it's exactly opposing Uranus, which again, it only happens once a year. So we haven't experienced this energy before this whole year. This is the first time we're experiencing this transit. It happened, like I mentioned before, it happened last October, so you can look back to that time and see if there's similar patterns that are going on at this time. But yes, I think that the new moon will help us to break free from something that's been holding us back, whether it's something within us, a thought pattern, a belief that we hold that's been deeply ingrained in us that we've, you know, it's kind of like hiding beneath the surface, or maybe it's going to be something that comes in from the outside and forces that change to happen, but ultimately it's in the name of your evolution, of your growth, so helping us to release what has been hard for us to let go of. We also have Mercury that is going retrograde a little bit after this new moon. So Mercury goes retrograde on Halloween. So Mercury, the planet of communication and how our mind works, it usually stays in one sign for about 2-ish weeks. And when it goes retrograde at this time, with it going retrograde in Scorpio, it's going to be there for about 2-ish months in Scorpio. So what we're reviewing right now, you know, as I said, Mercury ruling our mind and how we communicate. So our thought processes, the things that we're ruminating on, that we're working through at this time and during the time of the new moon. With Mercury going retrograde, it's going to give us more time to review and to examine the stuff that's coming up for us right now. So it's not going to go, Mercury's not going to go direct and out of its shadow until December. So at that time, maybe you'll feel a little bit more forward momentum, maybe more clarity will be coming through. But if you have Mercury retrograde in your chart, then this is going to be a really comfortable time for you. So you want to look to, again, you need to be able to pull up your chart and see if you had Mercury retrograde at the time of your birth. And if you did, then when Mercury goes retrograde in the sky, it's going to bring a lot more clarity. Maybe you'll just, you know, you'll be able to see things more clearly. Your thought processes will be more clear. You can communicate better. So for some people, Mercury going retrograde isn't a crazy, scary thing. It's really just inviting us to pause and to reflect and to examine stuff, to tie up the loose ends, to tend to the stuff that wasn't fully taken care of before it went retrograde. So we have that happening. And then, like I said, we have, just a lot of planets in Scorpio, right? We've got the sun, the moon's going to be in Scorpio at the time of this new moon, Venus and Mercury. So part of us, wanting to get clear on what our deepest desires are, because Scorpio rules our deepest desires. And so we're still going to have Mars in Libra, like I was saying at the beginning. So with Mars in Libra, it's like, it can be hard to find the balance to be able to fully move forward. I think when Mars moves into Scorpio, things we'll be able to just be a lot more direct and precise with what it is that we're doing. Mars in Scorpio is very, very focused. It knows what it wants, and it is like not stopping until it gets there. It's a fixed energy. So I think as the sun, and we have Mercury and Venus that have moved into Scorpio, we're getting more clear on what it is that we want, on how we're going to go about getting those things. But with Mars still hanging out in Libra, it's like we're trying to find the balance, to weigh the options, to make it work with everybody. But it's been a challenge, it's been squaring all of the Capricorn stuff. So it hasn't been the easiest to balance all the things within ourselves that we need, and maybe with the other people in our world, or with our place of living, with our job, or whatever area of your life it's showing up in. But I think at the time of this new moon in Scorpio, it's going to bring clarity. It's going to force us to break free from something that's been holding us back. Yeah, it's going to shake up stuck energy within ourselves, within our situation. And it's not like we're going to be just like blasting off and moving forward, like shooting forward at that time, because Mars, again, is in a square with the Capricorn energy. But I feel that we will have more clarity, more mental clarity around what it is that we need to do, what it is that we want. And then as Mercury goes retrograde a few days after this new moon, we'll have plenty of time to review that, to tie up the loose ends, to just get super clear on what it is that we desire most, on our deepest desires. And then, as Mercury goes direct in December, I feel like, there will be a lot more forward momentum. But yeah, it's the last few months of the year. I mean, this year has been crazy. It's been super transformative. And again, all of this energy is kind of leading up to the huge conjunction that we have in January of 2020, when Pluto and Saturn are conjunct. We're also going to have Jupiter. We're going to have a ton of planets in Capricorn. So it's like a restructuring the foundation of our lives. And I think that this new moon is going to shake up that stuck energy around like why we haven't been able to live the life that we want. So it's probably deeply rooted psychological stuff beneath the surface that needs to be awakened, that needs to be brought up to the surface, so we can look at it, we can examine it, and we can, consciously choose how we want to be moving forward. So, okay, I think that's all for now. I hope that this was helpful. If you'd like to book a reading with me, I do astrology readings, past life regressions, tarot readings, so you can do that through my site at cosmicguidance.online. And I have different options, amounts of times that you would like to spend with me. You can ask, if you just have a few questions, you want a 15-minute reading, or if you want me to, break down your chart and talk about the transits, maybe a 90-minute reading. But you can check out the options on there. I would love to hold space for you. I hope that this video was helpful. I hope everyone's excited about Scorpio season. And that's all. Take care. All right. Happy Scorpio season.